As you've probably realized over the last few years, I've made a conscious effort to avoid anything made for a modern audience. This decision has led me to discover a fair few hidden gems, whether it's the harrowing War of the Worlds series or the stylish antics of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. Then the other day I saw a movie in a shop that stirred up memories of a series I hadn't thought about in years. A murder mystery, one born from the clatter of dice and accusations of "It was Professor Plum in the library with the candlestick." Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Damon, and welcome to Cluedo, the board game turned British TV gem. Let's dial it back to Arlington Grange, shall we? Cluedo is a British game show based on the classic board game of the same name. Each week, viewers were treated to a reenactment of a murder at the stately home Arlington Grange, featuring a visiting guest who inevitably met their untimely demise. Through a combination of interrogating the six suspects, of whom only the murderer could lie, and logical deduction, celebrity guests were tasked with solving the whodunit, the weapon, and the room where it happened. Naturally, viewers at home were invited to play along, and honestly, that's what made it brilliant. There's something delightfully engaging about shouting "It's Reverend Green" in the billiard room with the wrench at your TV, isn't there? The cast rotated through the seasons, adding a touch of novelty and charm with each iteration. Mrs. Peacock, the stylish socialite, was portrayed by icons like Stephanie Beacham, Rula Lenska and Joanna Lumley, bringing poise and intrigue to the role. Colonel Mustard, that gruff retired military officer, saw performances from Robin Ellis, Lewis Collins and even Leslie Grantham. Reverend Green, Professor Plum and the rest of the ensemble had similarly memorable turns, with stars like Tom Baker and Molly Sugden gracing the series. Each actor brought a unique flair to their roles, ensuring that Cluedo stayed fresh, even if the premise remained delightfully straightforward. The brilliance of the show lay in its simplicity. It wasn't some high-budget, overproduced spectacle. No, it was a cozy, intelligent game show that celebrated the charm of the board game while adding just enough intrigue and theatricality to keep audiences hooked. It scratched that itch for fans of mystery, drama and a touch of comedy. Sure, the murders were over the top and the suspects were delightfully camp, but that's what made it fun. It wasn't trying to be something it wasn't. A standout episode for me has to be the one where Professor Plum's absent-mindedness leads to a hilariously botched alibi. Another saw Mrs. White delivering sharp-witted barbs while outsmarting the interrogators at every turn, only to reveal a shocking motive in the final moments. These little narrative flourishes elevated the show beyond its humble origins. For fans of the board game and mystery lovers alike, Cluedo was the perfect combination of light-hearted fun and cerebral challenge. And now we come to the present day. Imagine my dismay when I discovered that Sony has acquired the rights to Cluedo in 2024. This is the same Hollywood that has spent the better part of 2 decades proving that it has no original ideas left. To add insult to injury, the project has apparently been in development hell since 2008. Remind you of anything? Perhaps the endless waiting game for Freddy vs. Jason or the absurdity of Jason X, both of which I remember reading about on IMDb back in 1998. Look at what we got from those endless delays, mediocrity and disappointment, and now they want to drag another beloved series through the mud of modern reimaginings. Sony, do us all a favor and leave Cluedo alone. We don't need some gritty, DI-infused reinterpretation of a perfectly good series. What made Cluedo special was its charm, its simplicity, and its respect for the source material. Tearing it apart for the sake of modernizing it will only alienate the fans who still hold a candle for this quirky little gem. I'm Snake Damon, and this has been The Snake Pit. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, like the video, and leave your opinions in the comments, where naturally I won't read them.